You wake up suddenly, your leg twisted in pain, your calf clenched like a fist, and your breath caught in your chest. You try to stretch to move to shake it off, but your muscles have other plans and the cramp holds on like a vice. You lie there wide awake, rubbing your leg, wondering why this keeps happening when you did everything right. You drank your water, you walked today, you took your magnesium, and yet here you are again, losing sleep to something so small but so powerful. If that sounds familiar, you are not alone. After 60, leg cramps become more frequent, more intense, and more mysterious. But what if the reason is not your age, not your circulation, not your stress? What if the problem is sitting quietly on your dinner plate, hiding behind green leaves and crunchy slices, wearing the mask of health? Today I want to show you 6 popular vegetables that may be triggering your nighttime cramps without you realizing it. They are not bad, but the way you prepare and pair them could be making all the difference. After you turn 60, your body changes in ways you do not always see or feel right away. Digestion slows down, absorption weakens, and your muscles begin to rely more heavily on small things like magnesium and potassium to stay balanced and calm. These minerals help your muscles contract and relax smoothly, especially while you sleep. But when the balance is off even slightly, your muscles can misfire and cramp up without warning. The surprising part is that this imbalance does not always come from poor habits. Sometimes it comes from vegetables that seem perfectly healthy but interfere quietly with your mineral levels. Certain veggies contain natural compounds that block absorption, trigger fluid loss, or disturb thyroid function. And the result, especially when repeated daily, is the slow depletion of electrolytes that your legs depend on. Take, for example, foods rich in oxalates like beet greens. They bind to calcium in your gut and carry it out of your body before it gets used. Or cabbage, which affects thyroid function and can change how your body handles magnesium. Or pickled vegetables packed with salt and vinegar that flush potassium out faster than you can replace it. These effects are subtle. They do not show up right away. But over weeks and months, they can quietly increase your risk of nighttime leg cramps, even when you believe your diet is clean. According to a report by Tufts University, older adults absorb fewer nutrients from food, especially when certain plant chemicals interfere with digestion. That means even a plate full of vegetables can still leave your muscles starving for what they need most. The solution is not to fear vegetables. It is to understand them. To know which ones need preparation, which ones need balance, and which ones are better enjoyed in moderation. That knowledge gives you power not just over your plate, but over your sleep, your strength, and your comfort. Vegetable 1, cabbage. Cabbage looks innocent. It is crisp light and often tossed into salads, soups, or slaws without a second thought. Many seniors enjoy it for its fiber and low calories. But if you eat cabbage often, and especially eat it raw, it could be doing something unexpected inside your body. Cabbage contains goitrogens, natural compounds that can interfere with your thyroid gland. That gland, though small, controls much of your metabolism and mineral balance. When the thyroid slows down, your body may struggle to regulate magnesium and potassium, 2 minerals that are essential for healthy muscles. Why does this matter? Because leg cramps often begin when magnesium or potassium levels dip too low during the night. That drop can happen even if your diet seems perfect. If your thyroid is underperforming and you are eating raw cabbage several times a week, the effect can quietly build over time. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that even mild thyroid dysfunction can cause disturbances in electrolyte levels. And for older adults, this can turn into nightly cramps that seem to come out of nowhere. Helen, a 72-year-old retiree from Oregon, shared her story after struggling with cramps in her calves every night. She thought she was doing everything right. She ate clean, she stayed hydrated, but she loved raw cabbage slaw and ate it nearly every other day. After speaking with her doctor and changing how she prepared her meals, she switched to lightly steaming her cabbage and added more magnesium-rich foods like almonds and cooked spinach. Within 2 weeks, the cramps faded. You do not need to stop eating cabbage. But if it is a regular part of your meals, especially raw, consider cooking it instead. Cooking breaks down goitrogens, making it easier on your thyroid. And always support your muscles with foods that replenish what cabbage may subtly take away. Vegetable 2, tomatoes. Tomatoes are everywhere. On your sandwich, in your pasta sauce, even in your morning juice. They are colorful, packed with vitamin C, and feel like a healthy staple. But if you often struggle with leg cramps at night, tomatoes might be playing a quiet role in your discomfort, especially if you are over 60. The reason lies in their acidity. Tomatoes are mildly acidic, and while that is not a problem for most people's taste buds, it can subtly disturb the balance of calcium in your bloodstream, especially in older adults. Calcium is not just for bones. Your muscles need it to contract and release properly. When that balance is disrupted, your muscles may tighten or spasm, often in the middle of the night when your body is trying to rest. But tomatoes do not stop there. They also contain compounds that can interfere with how well your body absorbs magnesium. And magnesium, as you now know, is critical to muscle relaxation. A review in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that magnesium deficiency becomes more common with age. Part of the reason is that older adults absorb less of it from their food. And when acidic foods like tomatoes are eaten frequently, that absorption can get even worse. Robert, a retired firefighter from Florida, had no idea his favorite morning drink could be connected to his leg cramps. He drank tomato juice every day, sometimes with a pinch of salt. When his doctor suggested cutting back on acidic foods, Robert was skeptical, but he swapped tomato juice for a low-acid green smoothie made with kale and avocado. Within 2 weeks, the cramps faded. You do not need to remove tomatoes completely. Just pay attention. If you eat or drink them daily and still wake up with leg cramps, try limiting them in the evening and balance them with magnesium-rich snacks like pumpkin seeds or a banana. Vegetable 3, bamboo shoots. Bamboo shoots look clean, simple, and almost too innocent to cause trouble. They add crunch to soups and stir-fries, and many people believe they are a healthy, low-calorie choice. That part is true, but if you eat bamboo shoots often or cook them lightly without boiling, they might be doing more harm than good. The reason is something most people have never heard of. Bamboo shoots contain compounds called cyanogenic glycosides, which can convert into tiny amounts of cyanide when not broken down properly. This is not the kind of cyanide that will poison you instantly. But over time, if bamboo shoots are undercooked or eaten too often, they can create stress in your digestive system and interfere with mineral absorption, especially calcium and magnesium. And once again, this mineral imbalance is the perfect setup for painful leg cramps, especially during the night. A study published in Toxicology Reports found that improperly prepared bamboo shoots may lead to reduced mineral uptake and even metabolic stress, particularly in older adults. This is because digestion slows with age and the body becomes more sensitive to small imbalances. Marjorie, a 75-year-old retired teacher in California, used to stir-fry bamboo shoots at least 3 times a week. She tossed them straight into the pan, thinking they were already safe to eat. After a few months, she began noticing tingling in her toes and spasms in her calves. A nutritionist suggested she boil the shoots first. Once she started pre-boiling them for 20 minutes before cooking, her symptoms disappeared. If you enjoy bamboo shoots, do not stop eating them, but always boil them thoroughly first. It helps break down the cyanogenic compounds and makes them safer to digest. And remember to pair them with magnesium and calcium-rich foods like kale, yogurt, or sardines. Your muscles will thank you, especially when it is time to sleep. Vegetable 4, pickled cucumbers. Pickled cucumbers are tangy, crunchy, and full of flavor. They sit next to sandwiches, show up at barbecues, and often feel like a guilt-free snack. But if you are over 60 and experiencing frequent leg cramps, especially during the night, pickles may not be as harmless as they seem. The concern is not the cucumber itself, but what it sits in before it reaches your plate. Pickled cucumbers are usually preserved in brine, a mixture of vinegar and salt. That combination gives them their signature taste, but also leads to a spike in sodium intake. When you eat salty foods like pickles, your kidneys respond by flushing out excess sodium through urine. Unfortunately, they also flush out potassium and water along with it, and that can leave your muscles dry and twitchy. Even mild dehydration combined with slight drops in potassium can lead to nighttime cramps. A study in the Journal of the American Society of Nephrology showed that older adults are more likely to lose fluid and electrolytes with age, and their bodies are slower to restore the balance. That means something as small as a handful of pickles every day could be enough to set off muscle cramps later that night. Frank, a 68-year-old veteran from Texas, never gave much thought to his afternoon snacks. He loved pickles, especially during the summer, and often ate them straight from the jar. But after weeks of restless nights and leg cramps, his doctor encouraged him to track his meals. Once he cut back on pickles and added more hydration through coconut water and mineral drinks, his cramps faded away. If you enjoy pickles, you do not need to give them up. But treat them as an occasional treat, not a daily habit. Look for low-sodium options or try making your own at home with less salt. And always hydrate with purpose using drinks that replace potassium and magnesium, not just plain water. Vegetable 5, beet greens. Beet greens often go unnoticed. Most people buy fresh beets and throw the leafy tops away, not realizing they are edible and full of nutrients. But for those over 60, especially anyone struggling with leg cramps, these vibrant greens could be adding to the problem. That is because beet greens are extremely high in oxalates, a natural compound found in many plant foods. Oxalates are not dangerous in small amounts. But when eaten often, especially without proper preparation, they can bind to calcium in your digestive system and block its absorption. Calcium is not just important for your bones, it plays a critical role in how your muscles contract and relax. When calcium absorption drops, even if your diet is rich in it, your muscles may become more prone to tightness and spasms. A study published in the journal Nephrology Dialysis Transplantation found that diets high in oxalates significantly reduced calcium bioavailability in older adults. And that is a problem because as we age, we already absorb less calcium naturally. The combination of oxalate-heavy foods and declining absorption can quietly create a recipe for leg cramps. Diane, a 70-year-old from Michigan, followed a clean, plant-based diet. She loved steaming beet greens for dinner and believed she was fueling her body well. But she could not understand why her feet and calves cramped at night. A dietitian reviewed her meals and suggested a small change. Diane started boiling her beet greens briefly and pouring out the cooking water, which reduces oxalate content. She also rotated in lower oxalate greens like bok choy and zucchini. Within a week, the cramps eased up. Beet greens are still a great food, but they need balance and the right cooking method. Boiling helps lower the oxalate load. And adding calcium-rich foods like yogurt, sardines, or fortified almond milk can help replace what oxalates might remove. If you love greens, rotate them, cook them well, and give your muscles what they need to stay calm. Vegetable 6, celery. Celery is one of those vegetables that seems too innocent to cause harm. It is light, watery, and crisp. People snack on it with peanut butter, toss it into soups, or crunch on it plain as a low-calorie treat. But if you are over 60 and dealing with leg cramps, especially at night, eating too much celery may be quietly making the problem worse. The reason lies in celery's natural diuretic effect. Celery encourages your body to produce more urine. That can be helpful in some situations, but for older adults, it can also lead to subtle dehydration. Along with water, your body may flush out important minerals like potassium and magnesium. And without those minerals, your muscles lose their ability to relax properly. According to a clinical review in the American Journal of Medicine, natural diuretics like celery can contribute to electrolyte loss in seniors, especially those already taking medications that increase urination. The result is a double loss where both fluids and minerals drop together. Even a few stalks of celery a day combined with low thirst awareness and other diuretics can increase your risk of nighttime leg cramps. George, a 74-year-old from Arizona, had a routine. He drank plenty of water, stayed active, and munched on celery sticks throughout the day. But his sleep was constantly interrupted by thigh cramps. After reviewing his habits, he decided to cut back on celery and pair it with small potassium-rich snacks like avocado or pumpkin seeds. He also added a glass of electrolyte water in the afternoon. Within a week, his cramps became rare. Celery is still a good choice, but like all foods, it needs balance. If you enjoy it daily, try rotating it with other crunchy veggies like bell peppers or cucumber. And always hydrate with intention, choosing drinks that restore what celery may take away. When your fluids and minerals stay balanced, your muscles can finally rest too. Now that you have seen how 6 everyday vegetables might be contributing to your leg cramps, the next question is simple. What can you do about it? The answer is not to stop eating vegetables. The answer is to eat them more thoughtfully. After 60, your body becomes more sensitive to how foods are prepared, combined, and repeated. That means small changes in your routine can bring big relief at night. First, look at how often you are eating each of these 6 vegetables. If they show up in your meals several times a week, it is worth paying attention. Rotate your greens. Alternate beet greens with kale or zucchini. Swap raw cabbage for lightly steamed. Choose low-acid sauces instead of tomato-heavy dishes late in the day. Second, focus on how you prepare them. Cooking methods matter more than ever. Boiling beet greens and bamboo shoots helps lower oxalates and glycosides. Steaming cabbage makes it easier on your thyroid. Reducing vinegar and salt in pickled foods supports your potassium levels. If you enjoy celery, balance it with hydrating, mineral-rich drinks like coconut water or diluted electrolyte solutions. Third, pair high-risk vegetables with foods that restore what might be lost. A cup of yogurt, a handful of pumpkin seeds, a few slices of avocado, or a small glass of magnesium-rich mineral water can help rebalance your system. This is not about removing things. It is about adding the right partners. And finally, watch for patterns. If you find that your leg cramps worsen after eating certain meals, even healthy ones, take notes. Your body often whispers before it shouts. Those whispers might be a twitch, a tight muscle, or a bad night's sleep. Pay attention. As Tufts University researchers have shown, older adults experience reduced nutrient absorption and slower electrolyte regulation, making dietary balance more important than ever. That means your food choices carry more weight, not less, as the years go by. Building leg strength and comfort at night is not about doing one big thing. It is about doing many small things well. It is about understanding that even the healthiest foods can become irritating if repeated too often, prepared carelessly, or consumed without balance. So give your muscles what they need. Hydrate with purpose. Rotate your greens. Listen to how your body responds. These simple strategies can mean the difference between a restless night and a peaceful one. Between sore steps in the morning and strong, steady legs that carry you through the day, your plate is not just food. It is information. And every bite is a chance to support or stress your body. Choose the bites that bring you balance. Choose the ones that help your legs rest, recover, and rebuild. Sometimes it is the quietest things that make the loudest difference. A stalk of celery, a spoonful of slaw, a glass of tomato juice before bed. On their own, they seem harmless. But for a body over 60 with slower absorption and more delicate balance, these small choices can build into bigger consequences like painful leg cramps that steal your rest and weaken your steps. But knowledge changes everything. When you know what to watch for, you no longer feel confused or helpless. You feel calm, you feel in control, and control brings comfort. You do not need to throw out your favorite vegetables. You simply need to adjust how you prepare them, how often you enjoy them, and what you pair them with. With just a few gentle shifts, your meals can start supporting your muscles again, helping your legs rest instead of cramp, helping your sleep restore instead of break. And if you have ever felt like your body was trying to tell you something, but you could not quite hear the message, maybe now you do. Maybe that midnight cramp was not just a muscle problem, but a food signal, one that you are finally ready to understand. If this video helped you discover something new, leave a comment and let us know what changes you plan to try. Have you noticed certain foods make your cramps worse? Do you have a trick that works for you? Share it with others. You never know who might need it. And don't forget to subscribe. Every week, we bring you clear, compassionate guidance to help you age with strength, wisdom, and a little more peace at night. You deserve that. Take care of your legs. Take care of your sleep. And above all, take care of yourself.